Hi friend, welcome to the Quiet Connections podcast. Do you feel anxious and not good enough in social situations? Feel like you're weird, broken or don't fit in? You are not alone. Join Hayley and Stacey on a journey to quiet confidence, picking up key insights to help you feel more calm and confident, so you can finally speak up, join in and feel like you belong too.
Welcome to the Quiet Connections podcast. My name's Hayley and today I'll be joined by a very good friend of mine, Vicky Otter. Now Vicky is a wellbeing coach. She's actually one of Quiet Connections coaches and she also has her own wellbeing practice based at a farm in Mount Hawke in Cornwall. And her business is called Innate Connection. You can look her up. I'm really excited to be sharing this conversation with you today because there's so many beautiful nuggets of wisdom in here that could be transformational in helping you move from feeling not good enough to a place where you feel like, you know what, maybe I am. Maybe I am. So this episode is for you if you feel like you're not good enough, like you're weird, like you're broken or defective, or feel like you need fixing. As coaches, myself, Stacey and Vicky, we all believe that nobody needs fixing. One of the foundations of our NLP practitioner training is that people work perfectly. Sometimes we just run ineffective strategies. And this is exactly what we have found in ourselves and in other people when we feel like we are not good enough, when we feel like we are too shy, like we're socially anxious and we're avoiding and we're just not showing up as we want to be. If you've listened to episode 2, then you'll already know that these strategies that we develop are simply about keeping ourselves safe as a child. And if you haven't yet listened to it, it is well worth a listen. But today, Vicky and I will be taking a much deeper dive into the way that our minds work, how our thoughts can create this sense of feeling like we're not good enough, and how we can begin to see past that and look for what else might be true.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Hayley.
Would you like to tell us a bit more about what you do and who you are?
Yeah, so I work as a wellbeing coach and I work for QC and I've got my own practice as well, working with young people and adults. My journey in wellbeing began when I was a primary school teacher. So I came out of teaching 4 years ago. Coming up to 4 years ago. And during that time, there were kind of two things going on for me. There was my personal wellbeing journey, but also really wanting to be with children and to help children in that way. And when I talk about wellbeing, for me, it was kind of what they thought of themselves and what I then thought of myself. So the journey for me personally began actually, it began as kind of as a physical journey in terms of my skin and wanting my skin to be better than it was. I'd had kind of spots all my life and really felt like I wanted that to be different. And when I sought out a therapist to help with that, she very gently said, we can put all these lovely products on your skin and we can totally move to like organic, natural skin care. But it won't really change until you look at your emotions as well, because you're a whole system. And it was kind of like I really hadn't linked at all my skin and my emotions until that point. So then that got me looking in the direction of my emotions. I was like, okay, well, let's look at what's there. And what I uncovered was this sense that I'd had all my life, as far as I could remember, of not feeling good enough. So just underlying. So outwardly, I don't know that people knew that about me. In fact, I know they didn't, because people were really surprised when I said that was going on inside. And it was not for any particular reason. I can't say there was a trauma that happened or a childhood thing that happened that led to it. It just seemed to be there within me. I've now come to see, I think it's a human thing. So it wasn't like, no wonder I couldn't trace anything, because there seems to be this sense in people of, it's quite common to talk to people and hear that there's a sense of lack. So when I uncovered this kind of, oh, I don't think I'm good enough, it was really interesting to look at how that showed up in my life. One of the ways it showed up in my, in some ways it was quite helpful, because in my school life, it showed up as working really hard. I worked very, very hard. I tried to be a really good student, really wanting to do the best I could, because if I could just get the grade, then I'd be good enough. And it was always as a kind of trying to get to have that sense of feeling complete and whole and good enough. In my friendships, it was like, just be kind, be as kind as you can be. People like kind people. So just doing anything that I could do to get the approval. Again, thinking, if I get enough approval, I will be good enough. Like, it was always this striving to be good enough. So that was where my wellbeing journey started. And it's just been a process for me of uncovering what that is, coming to see it for what it is, and realizing that it is fundamentally untrue, that there is no possibility at all, no matter how true it looks, that I cannot be good enough. It's just not a possibility. And yeah, I've come to see that everyone is inherently good enough just as they are.
Wow, that feels like an amazing transformation, to go from feeling like I'm just not good enough to like, you know what, I really am, and there's no possibility that isn't true. And I like that you picked up on, firstly, the fact that our mind and our bodies are connected. I think we live in a society where we can separate these things really easily. And like, even when you go to the doctor, it's very rare that they go, well, actually, this could be related to your mental health, and it could be impacting each other. We just don't really get trained to see that. And that going from being not good enough, or feeling like you're not good enough, and having that show up as maybe perfectionism and people pleasing, and how that can really, I imagine that's really, really draining, and can take over your life, and have an impact on your friendships too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it can work so subtly as well. You don't even realize. Like, I didn't realize that the reason I was doing those things was because I was trying to fill a hole, or it was coming from a sense of lack. I just hadn't seen that. And so you're just going about your life living quite, I don't know if I can say, like, automatically. Oh, that's just who I am. That's just how I am. That's just what I do, without realizing that there's such a, like, I don't know, to say you're making it up seems maybe a little bit too insensitive, but I mean it in like the gentlest way. Like, I think of myself, and like looking at myself, listening to myself saying that I'm not good enough, and just wanting to like hold myself and say, you're making that up. That's not true. Like, it's just not true. And no matter how much it looks like it's true, it just isn't. Yeah. But also there's a sense in me as well of, although I say you're making it up, it's not like a personal responsibility you're making it up, because that would just feed into that I'm not good enough. Like it did with me. I'd get myself in a real spiral, like, oh, it's okay, I'm making it up. Oh, I'm making it up. Why am I making it up? I'm so bad. I'm so useless. I'm so rubbish. I should be doing better. The fact that I wasn't good enough kind of was like a self-fulfilling weird thing. So yeah, so when I say that I want to kind of reassure myself and anyone else who feels like this, that they're making it up, it's not on you. It's not like you've personally made it up. It's just that it's being brought to life in your mind, and it looks true, because the mind is meant to make things look true. But equally, if we're making it up, there's so much potential for it to fall away, and for us to live in a different reality.
Okay, so you got this real sense that you were making this up, and I can very much relate to that. And I've looked into a lot of the research that shares about how these beliefs are passed from generation to generation to generation. It's not on you, it's not on your parents, it's just something that is there that at some point we want to stop and we want to look at and go, whose belief is this? Is this really true? So I think a lot of especially young women, are taught that they should be kind and they should, this is where the people pleasing comes in. And that can really easily feed into that sense that we're just feel like we're not good enough. So what was it that you saw that moved you from being not good enough to I am good enough?
Great question. Okay. Okay. What did I see? I think there were two elements to that. So one of them I've already kind of talked about in terms of seeing more about thought, and that just because a thought shows up in your mind, it doesn't make it true. And so I think seeing more about that, more about the nature of thought, and more about, so what do I mean by nature of thought? I mean the fact that it comes and that it goes, that it's transient, that it is infinite, that it can make up anything. It's like if you have a piece of Play-Doh and you make one thing with it, and then you go, oh, okay, I'm going to make something else now. You put it back to its like original, and then you make something else. And the power of thought that we have in us is just like that. So when we have made with our little, made with our Play-Doh, and I'm not good enough, the potential is always that you can put that back down again and make something else from it. So seeing the potential of thought to kind of be new and fresh has been really helpful. With the fact that we end up in old kind of repetitive thoughts that look really true and real, and we think the fact that we've had them for a long time might mean that they're true. Oh, that one again. God, this really must be telling me something about myself. Like it kind of makes them seem more solid somehow. But they're just like, the mind is a habitual machine, or the brain, should I say, is a habitual machine, right? And thank goodness our brains help beat our hearts, breathe our lungs. Like I really want it to know how to do a habit. But when it's a habit of, I'm not good enough, see how you're not good enough, see how you're not good enough, oh, that wasn't very good, you could have done that better. When it's habitual like that, not that good an idea to buy into it. So it just kind of seeing that it can be on repeat and not mean anything about you. So I think that's one element of it that really kind of, I guess the psychology side, just seeing that this is what psychology is like, and it's not, we just don't have to believe it. And then the other side of that, I would say, was a spiritual realization, which is what really I would say this is the part that really shifted it for me, was seeing more about who I truly am. So when I thought I was the girl who wasn't good enough, I lived from that. I lived that. So that, like I said, that showed up working really hard, trying to hold friendships in place, people pleasing. And then I came to see that I was greater than that, that who I really was this like amazing creation of the universe. Like we can kind of get into the idea that, like you said, like we separate the body and the mind. We separate ourselves from nature, from the natural world, as if like there's nature, we can go out in nature. We forget we're nature. Yeah. Right? We are that intelligence. We hold the same intelligence that turns like spring into summer and summer into autumn. The same intelligence that spins the planets. The same intelligence that turns a tiny acorn into a giant oak tree. Same intelligence running us. We are that intelligence. And so when I came to see that, I remember like there was like this phrase, and it just stayed with me. I came to see that I was the universe expressing itself in human form.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, well, and whoa, if that's really what I am, the belief that I'm not good enough just could not sit with that. That's impossible. If what I truly am is the universe expressing itself in human form, that's it. There's no not good enough about it. And so that was where the really big shift came. I saw the impossibility of not good enough when I saw who I really was.
Yeah.
And so what's important to add is that it wasn't like that realization. It was so deep. I felt it so like it was like such a deeply experienced realization. So kind of physically, mentally, emotionally. But it didn't get rid of the thought I'm not good enough coming up. But what I saw was that it was a thought. It's not truth. It's not who I really am.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like, oh, realize that you're the universe and then you won't ever think you're not good enough again. Like, I still find it, like I'll find myself in a situation that's not feeling good and I'm like, what's going on here? And I'll realize, oh, I've bought into the belief that I'm not good enough again. Oh yeah, and that's not true. Okay, so it's not that it stops it from happening. It's not for me, it wasn't about trying to eradicate. It was for a little while. It was about eradicating the thought I'm not good enough and changing the belief and doing something with it. But now there's such a gentleness to it. It's like, well, that thought can come up because it's a thought. And I know about thought now, and they come and they go and they're not truth. And I can fall back into the truthful realization of who I really am with this connection to this bigger, beautiful intelligence of life.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I totally agree. So I think for me, one of the biggest things that I learned was that your thoughts aren't real as well. And it's actually realizing how your brain works and how you start to filter out things, because you have to stay sane, because we take in so many pieces of information every single second. We can't possibly process them all. So it's, realizing that our brains are generalizing information, like making them fit with what we already believe, deleting information that we don't think is useful. We're looking out for what we think we already know, basically.
Yes.
Already believe that we're not good enough. We're going to collect all the evidence we possibly can that says that we're not good enough. And that might not even be true.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it starts as, for me, I love the phrase you use then, and it might not be true, because for me, starting from a kind of a what if and a might and a maybe is kind of an easier thing to go to first. It's like, let's test this out. What would it be like if that wasn't true? Or maybe that's not true. And so seeing that maybe is where you see like the potential and the possibility.
Yeah, definitely. My favorite question is like, well, what else could be true?
Yeah, such a good question.
Let's explore, let's just have a look. And I think it's really useful to take on board other people's feedback as well, when we can get to a stage where it's almost like our own self-assessment just isn't working for us. It's way off. So it's really helpful to remember that might be just down to our own thinking, and actually we can take on board other people's feedback. And when other people are saying good things, they're not saying it because they're being nice. People don't really do that. And we can actually take on board what they are saying as true. And it's more helpful to do that than to believe the old crap about we're not good enough and everything.
Yeah, they do that in some courses, don't they? I think actually they ask like 360-degree feedback, I think they call it. Yeah. So like you go and you seek other people's opinion and kind of bring that in. And I've never done it myself, but I've been asked to complete it for quite a few friends and colleagues, to kind of give that feedback, to realize that there are other perspectives about you that maybe you're not seeing in that moment.
Yeah. I have done that. I've been on a few courses that have required that I go out and get that feedback for myself, including quite recently. And it's really surprising that I get that, like you've given me feedback, and it's amazing what will come back from just asking that question. And it can be really vulnerable, and you can feel quite resistant to getting people's feedback, but on the whole it's really surprising and really, really positive. And I've got a few of my clients to go out and collect feedback from other people as well, to help them just see the good in them, because sometimes we just lose sight of that. It gets covered up.
Yeah, we need to be reminded, right?
So what advice would you be giving to someone who is feeling like they're not good enough right now?
Just the main thing, I suppose, is to just be gentle with yourself. So often we are caught in self-judgment and self-criticism and or even outward judgment and outward criticism. Like, we're kind of just in that space of judgment and criticism where shame and guilt live as well, and it can be really tough, and we can get really harsh with ourselves from that place. And so I think just to go easy on yourselves, to just be kind and as loving as you can be towards yourself, taking care of yourself in whatever way makes sense to you. And recognizing as well, that you can completely be with your experience as it is now. So we don't need to get rid of or push away the I'm not good enough. It's like, if that's what's visiting at that moment, and I really use the word visiting really intentionally, because it's transient, it comes and it goes. And if you look for it yourself, you'll see that it comes and goes. Even if your brain is on, like you said, Hayley, like a complete, like, I'm only looking for evidence of not good enough, you'll see moments where that's not happening. Yeah. And so it's to, but whilst it's there, to just be with it, to just hold it in love, to feel it, to let it move through you, to know that it is, to know that it won't break you, that you have an inbuilt resilience that enables you to be with whatever feeling is there. And then I suppose I quite like, can I share a little prop now?
Yeah.
This is from doing a training course. So this has come from an organization called iHeart. So I didn't want to like not say where it had come from. But I love how this points to who we truly are. So inside this snow globe, you can see that there is wisdom, peace of mind, compassion, gratitude, well-being, love, and what's the last one? Resilience. Oh, the one I was saying about. So that's because, and it's inside this snow globe. The snow globe represents us. Those qualities are already within you. Even if you're not aware of them, even if you've lost sight of them, they are absolutely within us already. We do not have to seek them outside ourselves. They exist 100% already. And Hayley, what you were saying before about like having other people remind you, absolutely. What they're reminding you by giving you that lovely feedback and that kind of their perspective, they're reminding you what's already true about you.
Yeah.
They're not putting it in there for you, right? They're just reminding you. So this snow globe represents firstly the fact that those things are already within you. And at times, our snow globe, us, get shaken up. And with the thoughts and the beliefs and the feelings that we're experiencing, can momentarily kind of disguise or cover up those qualities that are within us, but they cannot take them away. And that for me is why I can say, well, just sit with the feeling of not feeling good enough. It's okay, because just like that glitter has now settled, that too will pass and settle. And those qualities within you will see you through anything, and you've already got them.
Feels really, really true for me. I think we can get so caught up in wanting to avoid those difficult feelings, those uncomfortable feelings, and the pain is really in the resistance.
Yes.
And they can keep us there for so much longer, but when we sit with it, we allow it all to settle, and then we can see what's really true.
I love that phrase you use, allow it to settle. That's so important for me, because allowing is it's the opposite of resistance, isn't it? So I love that phrase for two reasons. One, in the allowing, it's like, just be with what is. And there's such a deep breath of relief that can come from that. Be with what is, allow, and allow it to settle, right? It settles on its own. That's part of the design, that's part of the system, right? It's gonna settle. All we need to do is to allow it, and it settles. I love that. It's a beautiful phrase, Hayley. Allow it to settle. Yeah.
That's really powerful. And yeah, I think that's something that we tend to avoid, and we tend to kind of like turn to all kinds of things to numb those difficult feelings, to avoid them. So it might be, in my case, when I was younger, I was drinking a lot to avoid the discomfort and to try and fit in. Or it could be like working all hours, or whatever it is for you. But it's really useful to just experience what's going on for you, dig a little bit deeper and find out what those beliefs are that's driving those behaviors, and then we can really look at them and go, well, is this true? What else could be true?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, like once it settles, like wisdom is there, like wisdom's already within, it's already within the system, right? So it's just going to show up, it's going to show you the way, and it's there already.
Yeah, we can get a little bit disconnected from that inner wisdom and get a bit stuck in our heads quite often. And it's like sometimes we just need permission to listen to that wisdom and to know that it's valid and it can guide you and it's true. I think we're kind of taught that we must be able to back something up. It must be very logical, and it can feel kind of tricky to like allow ourselves to sink into our body and go, okay, well, I'm feeling this, it's different to what I'm thinking. Is it valid? And the truth is that it's just as valid as anything that we might think.
I agree, to just be with what is. And that's what you were saying, like we feel like we have to back things up, but there's a deeper wisdom within us that just knows. And I think that we can be taught that if we can't analyze it, fix it, change it, control it, like that's what we're taught to try and do. And we do the same innocently with our feelings. And it's like, well, and that's the system knows what it's doing there, feel the feeling, and then there's wisdom. And so it's just, it's there already. And it's almost like our minds are like, that's too simple.
Yes.
It can't be that straightforward that I just feel the feeling and then follow the wisdom. But really it is. It's all there available for us already. No fixing, no analysing and working stuff out needed.
Yes. Do you have any more advice about allowing the mind to quieten so that we can get back to that inner wisdom?
Well, I'll share with you my hesitation.
Okay.
My hesitation is because I'm feeling like, could I give you now a list of tools and techniques that we could do to quiet the mind? And sure, I could. Like I could give you, like you can probably find those on a Google search though, right? All these different things that we could do. I think there's something for me to be seen, and this might have to just be a half answer. Because this is kind of like a question for me still. In terms of the quiet mind is the backdrop, right? The quiet mind already exists, like the sky already exists. And within the sky, we get weather, right? We get clouds, we get rain, we get sunshine, we get hail, we get like strong winds. Within the sky, all of that occurs. The sky is already there. Within the peaceful, quiet mind, feelings, anger, anxiety, jealousy, happiness, excitement, all of that occurs within a quiet mind. So for me, there's something in the realization that the quiet mind already exists. It's already there, so it's nowhere to get back to. There's nowhere to go. It's already there. And so, because it's our natural state, we can't but return there when the weather passes. And so I suppose it's like, trust that you'll go back there. Your mind, your psychological system, your being, whichever word you want to put to it, is kind of, its default is this quiet mind. And if you can trust that you'll go back there, you'll go back because you're already there. There's nowhere to get to. So if you could trust that you're already there, apart from being caught up in the weather, then just do what makes sense. Like, do what's nice. If your mind's going to take care of itself and you don't have to do anything to get there because you're already there, then do what you enjoy. Do some yoga if you like yoga. Go for a walk if you like to go for a walk. Take some deep breaths if that grounds you into your body. Do a meditation if you'd like to. Read a book, watch a film, eat some pizza, eat some salad, eat chocolate. Like, have a cup of tea, cuddle the dog, do some art. There's no like one thing that's gonna kind of as far as I can see, and I might be wrong about this, Hayley, but there's no universal, right, do this and you'll go back to quiet mind, because that's a misunderstanding. That's assuming the quiet mind is somewhere other than where you already are. And so just trust that the quiet mind, the sense of quiet mind, I suppose, the peacefulness will return when this settles, so you can just be in life doing what you like doing. Cry, and it might be like cry, it might be like scribble on a piece of paper and throw it away. I don't know what is going to make sense to you in the moment, but just trust that something will come to you in the moment that makes sense to do, and do that whilst your mind remembers that it's already quiet.
There were two things that came up for me then. So the first thing is about, we can get very stuck in feeling like we have to totally empty our minds, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and when we meditate we can go, well, it's not working because I'm still thinking, and actually that's really normal. We're not going to get rid of our thoughts. It's fine if we have thoughts come in. If they're negative thoughts, that's fine. They pass through, they're like clouds. You don't have to get on the cloud and go with it. And then the second thing that came up for me then was about, feel all the feelings, feel everything. It's all totally normal. It's all part of being human. And those feelings are really useful when we feel anger, when we feel sadness, whatever it is. It's guiding us to look at something, to do something different, to just experience the full human life. So that goes back to that sense of like, let's not resist those feelings. Let's just live in them and experience them and allow them to move through us.
Yeah, realizing, so a phrase that I've heard on a course a couple of times, realizing that life lives through you, not happens to you.
That's really lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so final word to you, Vicky.
Yes.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, I think I've already given it, when in terms of when you asked me what advice would you give to someone who was feeling now like they weren't good enough, I think it's that same, so a friend said this to me recently, and this would really sum it up for me, and I remind myself of this still now. And he said to me, gently, gently, slowly, slowly. And there was just such love in that. And I think that that's what I'd say to myself. I'd embrace myself with love, and I would say, it's okay, gently, gently, slowly, slowly. And because there was so much trust in that. It's like, you're okay, you've got this, it's all unfolding as it should be, this is okay. And the gentleness and the slowness just had such compassion and warmth in it. I think I'd give myself that.
That's beautiful. I really love that. The process and be gentle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat with us today.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me and asking me such interesting questions, and great. I loved how the conversation went back and forth with us both seeing something in what the other one had said, and that's it's been a real privilege to be with you. Thank you, Hayley.
Thank you very much, Vicky. We'll speak to you again soon.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find the show notes from this episode at quietconnections.co.uk. Before you go, please subscribe to this podcast to stay up to date with all future episodes.
With gratitude for the support of the National Lottery Community Fund.